What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today we're back with another Deepwoken update, and this one is kinda crazy. There's a bunch of surprisingly new content that we can mess around with, alongside some well-awaited changes to stuff that we already know. So I'll do my best to show you what's up, and let's get right into it. Moving forward, with a new mantra spark, we have an addition to the Skyshatter kick. It's well known that this high-strength mantra hits hard and does crazy damage, but the round spark is pretty different. Instead of doing the basic air kicks, the round Skyshatter slams the round fast for quick damage and a possible combo setup. Although it looks fast, this mantra version has a lot of wind-up indication, so you should have a window to react. This is cool and worth trying. With some new rings, we got a few that are decent and pretty standard. The first option is the Diver's Ring. While equipped, we simply deal a bonus 5% damage to all monsters in the depths, which is perfect for PvE builds that are always beneath the surface. The next ring, Armorer's Ring, is similar, reducing all armor loss by 10%, which is solid to say the least. These rings are cool and grant us pretty small bonuses to our builds. Alongside these cool new rings, we also got some drip as a bonus. With a new set of eyeglasses, we got the Summer Nauticals, and these are awesome. Here's some more modern Summer Company accessories, which can work well for basically any outfit. There's a few different variants with these, and they're fun. Onto an absolutely massive balance update, we got some pretty insane changes to Flamecharm's burn. Previously, before this balance patch, flame damage over time bypassed all forms of damage resistance, effectively dealing true damage, and that was crazy. Now, in this update, flame burn damage over time is reduced by normal resistances like charm, and additionally on top of this by flame armor. To hopefully balance this out, burn damage has been increased a bit, but of course it's not gonna fully bypass resistance. With a massive buff to Flamecharm as a whole, we got a rework to a flashy but previously terrible talent, Emperor Flame. This talent absorbed flame stacks applied to players to cause an instant explosion on flourish, but only did a total of 5 damage, and that sucks. Anyway, the basic damage has been improved as a starting point, but now Emperor Flame finally applies a new status on hit. This new status, Wither, applies on hit, and it reduces your maximum HP for a specific duration based on how much damage is dealt. Essentially, if I deal a total of 100 damage with Emperor Flame during a fight, in that fight you're gonna have 100 less maximum HP, so you cannot regenerate that. In order to remove that withered health, you can sit down at a campfire or escape combat for easier regen. Honestly though, this is a great update to something kind of expensive, granting more potential instead of just damage, so Emperor Flame is a very powerful option for shutdown just because of this. Moving on to controversial changes, we got a giant hit to bleed in PvE. Supposedly, it was a bug that bleed hits were dealing about 10 times more damage than intended per tick. This, on the other hand, would reduce kill credit when defeating bosses and actually ended up breaking things like bell obtainment. I'm sorry to say, but this has been nerfed, making bleed weapons no longer the peak of PvE, which might be a little bit sad. If you're a player who's already mastered monster patterns, this shouldn't affect you very much, but DPS has definitely dropped. Anyway, moving on to some well-appreciated buffs to the Vow of Mastery, it's way easier to use a few different commands. Just by reaching 50 Charisma with the Vow of Mastery, you will now gain the Fight command alongside Sacrifice as well. So it's not anything crazy, but it's great to cut down on talent space. Shifting back to base gameplay, we got a crazy new adjustment to all combat interaction. So now the talent Firmly Planted is now a base behavior available to everyone on every single build. In short, all slow debuffs have been reduced by 25% while you're not using an ability, and that honestly makes gameplay smoother, which should be positive for everyone. Next up, with some great information going towards build making and understanding gameplay, we can finally view the armor penetration stat. Ever since Deepwoken's release, many talents and stats mention pen, and of course we deal way more damage, and that's obvious, but now we can see quantifiable proof of its existence in game. Anyway, separated into both melee pen and mantra pen, these display under your character stats at the rest summary screen. Straight up, it's better and more accurate information about how much damage we deal, which should help you understand and craft crazier builds. Moving on to something crazy, we finally got an update to Insanity. Max Insanity has now become way more visually impressive, making the situation way worse when your mind is at risk. Although I'm not really a fan of visual obscurity saturation, and I guess clutter, this might be beneficial since insanity doesn't really seem to be a threat, and I guess people don't care about it. Before this update, max insanity visually made your screen more blue, blurry, with some creepy screen borders while hiding names and faces from nearby players. Sure, it was scary, but now it's even crazier. In the current update, everything listed from before is present with new features added on top. Making things even worse, all colors appear desaturated with way less vibrance alongside an almost black and white feel. Besides this, screen contrast was also boosted, making dark colors darker with a blurring radius that surrounds the player. Basically, with all of these new changes, if you have max insanity, it's gonna feel crazy, and that's exactly what it needs to be. Here's a comparison between 100% sanity and 0 sanity. On to something different, which is probably exciting to see. Any loot inside of chests are now ordered by the number of stars in each rarity bracket, organizing chests and helping you sort through loot much better. That's cool and a great improvement. And with that being said, let's wrap it up for this week. Of course, hop in game and make sure to enjoy the weekly battle royale with all of your friends. That's all for right now, and for even more exclusive update content, make sure to like and subscribe so I can hit 90k subs. Thanks again, it's punchin' time.